Hello and welcome once again to Fishing Planet. Today I am going to share with you how to fish freshwater drum. Now, Hawkeye M has a fairly decent video up for fishing for freshwater drum on the Mudwater River in Missouri. But he does float fishing, and the bait that he's using is a level 16 bait. So once you get to level 16, really it's not that beneficial to go freshwater drum fishing. You're just really not getting that much out of it for that level. Where it's really beneficial to go after freshwater drum is whenever you're a lower level. So I'm going to share my fishing technique, my setup. It's obtainable at a much earlier level where it is much more beneficial to go after these particular fish. And I found it to be quite effective in getting a decent amount of experience and a decent amount of money. So let me share this with y'all. Now I'm here at the Mudwater River on Missouri, and the first thing I want to do is I want to go over the setup that I use. Now the setup that I'm using for freshwater drum is a value cast 6-foot 6-inch rod, which is a level 6 rod. There's a level 5 version available, which will most likely work. I just happen to be using the level 6 version. Using the Felix 500 reel, which is a level 5 reel, and I'm using the casting spoon 1/3 ounce number 1, which is a level 4 lure, and I've got that on 6-pound braided line, which is level 6 line. So you can get this set up as early as level 6 and really get the benefit of fishing for freshwater drum. Now I've already done my fishing for today, and this is what I pulled in for today. As you can see, you're getting a decent amount of experience for the Missouri map and a decent amount of money. And all of this was caught using that particular setup that I just went over with. Now, for freshwater drum, they are fairly picky about what time they like to come out and eat. Now, I am on a cloudy day, and I found that cloudy days tend to have a wider window for when to catch these. Sunny days, I don't get quite as many drum. Now, for a sunny day, the best time to go is from 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning. That's when you're going to get a majority of your freshwater drum on a sunny day, and that includes trophies. For a cloudy day, I will go straight to the 2 o'clock hour and fish from the 2 o'clock hour on until 8 o'clock if needs be, or until I fill my net up. The trophies start at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Interestingly enough, while you can get drum in the afternoon on a sunny day, my personal experience has been that they just don't bite that often. That 8 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the morning is really the only time that I've found that it's beneficial to put time into fishing for freshwater drum. If you find that there are alternate times on a sunny day, then please leave them in the comments and add to the collective knowledge. So I've gone over my setup. I've shown you what's possible here. And now let me show you the spot. Now where I fish at is basically between the last Song of Summer and Pike's Challenge. If we go into the last Songs of Summer here, at the spawn in point, turn around, head down this little path, take your left, and then at the fork, head off to the left, walk straight down to the water. Now this is where we're going to be fishing from, and the area that we're interested in is basically from, if you're looking on the other side of the bank here, you see there's a set of reeds, a little opening right here, which is actually where Hawkeye M was fishing with his float set up. He was fishing from this spot right here, coming over to this tree. So the spots that we want to target for freshwater drum begin right here on the left side of these reeds and extend all the way up to right at the start of where the drop off is on the opposite bank. This is the area that the drum tend to hang out in, and there's kind of shifting levels of density as far as where they like to hide out. You'll get a few of them in this area off to the left here where these reeds are at, where the opening is at here on the opposite bank. Then it starts to pick up as far as your catch, what you're going to get over here on the right side, with the majority of your trophies coming out of this right side. I would say that the trophies really start to bite fairly well, starting from the left side of this set of reeds here on until the edge of the bank here. I have not had much success with going outside of this cone here. Fish off to the right, and actually this area right here is where Hawkeye was fishing out of. And I've pulled pickerel out of here and of course bass, but I haven't had any luck with trying to target freshwater drum out of here. And as far as off to the left here, coming this way, I've not had any luck whatsoever getting any drum out of this area. So small population density of drum here in this area right here, increasing level of density here with the trophies mostly coming out of this area right in here. And with the setup, I get about 90 feet or so. So I just cast straight out. And I'm using the lift and drop technique. It's my personal favorite. There are weeds out there. You notice it's at about the 75-foot mark. Going to be important here in just a minute. As soon as I get done pulling this cast in. Like I said, on a cloudy day, which is what I'm on, 2 p.m. all the way up until 8 p.m. Trophy starting at about 3 p.m. and continuing on to about the 7 o'clock mark. Can't remember if I've caught a trophy after the 7 o'clock mark or not. I don't believe I have. So that's the area for freshwater drum. Now it is possible to float fish from this point for freshwater drum, and the area is pretty much the same. If you're float fishing, you want to hit the 70-foot mark, and I'll start to float off here on the left and let it drift to the right. I've had success with crawfish cut, but crawfish cut is a little higher level, and of course it costs gold, and you're not getting any gold back from freshwater drum. So it is an alternative, but it is a quite costly alternative. And obviously shrimp are going to work well as well. Alternate lures that I've had success with the jigs, specifically the 3-inch grub on I was using a jig head 1/4 ounce, number 1 jig head on or with the 3-inch grub. Interestingly enough, with the 3-inch grub, I only caught drum. I didn't catch any other fish using the grub. With the casting spoon, I catch bass as well. Some largemouth bass, which are about the same experience and money as a drum, and quite a few of the young largemouth bass, which to me anyway, and I'm level 15, really they're not worth keeping. You know, they kind of break up the monotony a little bit, but that's what it is. I've also had success with the 3-inch shad. The 3-inch shad, kind of the same as the casting spoon, in that I get largemouth bass in addition to drum. But it's important to note that I didn't get as big of a fish or as many trophies using the jig setup as I have with the casting spoon. It's quite interesting because the grub is actually larger than what the casting spoon is as far as size goes. Now, maybe just the jig head that I used, keeping with the number 1 hook. I did try the number 3 1/0 hook, and I didn't catch anything on that, but I didn't put a bunch of time into fishing with that. So feel free to try different shad, different variations in the color and what have you. And if you find that different lure combinations work, please share in the comments. All right, I hope that it's helped you in tracking down the freshwater drum. They're a good fish to go after on Missouri River. Good luck and have fun.